Development and Rural Development, not under us. Thank you.
Honorable Tampule.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister, I didn't get the opportunity to welcome you proper. Mr. Chama is my neighbor, but we don't see each other. Honorable Minister, I think as recent as last month, massive water shortages in Tamale, and the expecting people, even in Tamale metropolis, sharing water resources with livestock, animals. You get video seeded from its original position. Even those dams are drying up. Now, not many people can afford to buy water, through these tanks. As Chairman, all of us in Tamale, we struggle. Sometimes it's difficult to even get water to buy. You have the money, you won't even get the water to buy. It's a big struggle. What are your plans for the people of Tamale and its surrounding communities? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, feasibility studies are currently ongoing by the EU. And when it's done, we will start working on the necessary contractual agreements for Tamale, not only Tamale, Yendi, Damango water project to start.
Honorable Mr. Chair. Oh, yes, Honorable Kulika.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister, and in respect of the upcoming rains, the flooding, I think Chairman was, specific about Accra. But if you come to the Western region, especially my constituency, which is a twin constituency, Efia and Kwesimintim, so Efia Kwesimintim. But mine is Kwesimintim, and flooding takes over Kwesimintim anytime it rains. We've had several engagements, we've done many things to salvage the situation. Now, your directors are there, you have NADMO directors. May I please know if you have put in place preemptive measures over there, because it looks as if anytime the rains are coming, we budget for visiting flooded areas. We budget for them. It looks as if, because it is after the floods have come, destroyed people's property, then we go and pay a visit to them. Now, do we have any preemptive measures to ensure that, especially the people of Kwesimintim constituency, if you go to Takoradi, for instance, immediately it drizzles, the whole of Market Circle is flooded. Drizzling, KK. So what measures are you putting in place with your directors and maybe with the assembly or the agencies to make sure that this time around we don't have this flood within the enclave? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, what from my agencies we're working on is to look at some dredging within the Efia Kwesimintim area. So we're working on that now. But for NADMO and the local authorities, trying to see how we can do some dredging. So we're looking for some funding for that.
Yeah, go ahead. So we'll finish this side and then.
So with the funding and the coming of the rains, are we sure? Would you assure us that we will get the funding to do the work before
of flooding, just as my senior colleagues are asking, matters to each and every one of us. And I also acknowledge that we all have a responsibility, and by that I mean households, our lifestyle, etc. And I was expecting a brief response from you, since your ministry is supposed to work in collaboration with the local government, just like locally the MMDCs and the environmental agencies are supposed to do. However, I would appeal to you that subsequently and in your response to Chairman, when updating us, you update us on the status of the Gamma project, because you can, and just to prompt you so that you don't sideline it. It is only this way that we have some assurance that the work is ongoing, or the timelines that will be given us. Hopefully this year we don't expect people to be displaced from their homes due to flooding issues. Yesterday I had the opportunity to visit Aban Papa Bananya Butre. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
If you stir controversy, you will get controversy. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want us to revisit the assurance. And the assurance given to Ghanaians. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I read. To this end, urgent engagements are ongoing between the Ministry, Ghana Water Limited, the contractor, and the supervising road agency. 4. That is the Ministry, Ghana Water, the contractor, and the supervising agency. Do we have evidence of all these engagements, i.e. follow-up letters? Because honestly speaking, yes, minutes of meeting. Honestly speaking, answers given so far, Mr. Chairman, it gives the impression that after the assurance was made, no action was taken. So do we have evidence of all these engagements? Thank you.
Yes, when it comes to the evidence, some or most of the engagement was informal. Most of the engagement was informal, like asking for minutes. I don't have minutes of any meeting, but most of the engagements we've made, telephone calls, WhatsApp messages, and all of that, but not sitting around the table and actually writing minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister, it's been 8 months after this assurance was made, and 3 different agencies and the whole ministry, we cannot have a single letter to these engagements. Can you speak to that?
Yes, Honorable Minister. The member wants to know why you have come to tell us that you've done a lot of engagements and there's no record of any engagement. You are talking of WhatsApp messages and you're talking of private communication. That's not engagement. In fact, you are not even supposed to do that. You're not supposed to use WhatsApp messages and private. No. Government work doesn't do that. If it's email through official, not your private email, but through the official email, because every minister and all of you should have the official emails that you communicate, and also letters, because that's how we communicate in government, not my private email or my WhatsApp. No, that's not a correct engagement. He wants to know whether you have that.
Okay. Yeah, so Honorable Chair, at the national level, that is what we have done. So we will check with Eastern Region and get some correspondences they have done and then let you have it. But I don't have any correspondence from Eastern Region as we sit. So we will check
furnish
with them.
The committee with all the evidence of your engagement over the last 8 months to resolve this problem.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Last one. This morning on my way here, listening to City FM, lots of complaints from the public, issues of poor quality of service, i.e. irregular supply of water, especially in Accra, and then complaints also came from Kumasi. What are the measures being implemented to mitigate this challenge? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, the demand and the supply as it is. Oh, okay, thank you. So the demand outweighs the supply, and now we have a shortfall of about 130,000 meter cube per day. So the issue is that normally what cooperative does is that we engage in water rations. But the rations, I don't feel comfortable using the rations, so we say we engage in water management, in the sense that we try to make sure that, because the water as it is, because it cannot meet the demand, if we leave the water, it will be lying on the flatland areas, the lowland. So the lowland areas can get water 24 hours, where the semi-hill and the hill areas will find it difficult for the water to get there. So now what we do is we ration the water, and then we distribute at the program. And then, based on the program, it is rolled out, and then we do the supply. But I must also admit that sometimes here we don't have much issue, but if you go to Kumasi, we have a lot of issue, as what we mentioned, with the power supply. At that time, and now we are even entering the rainy season. As soon as it rains, by the case it goes off. That's another issue. Even in Tamale now, in the evening, the power also goes off. We don't have enough power also to supply.
Excuse me. My question was that, yes, we know the challenges. That is why the public, they are lamenting. My question was that, what is being implemented now to mitigate the challenges, not to explain the challenges to us?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, we have the Aveime water project, which is also, the feasibility is almost completed. And when it's done, it's going to bring water through the Aveime, will be limited to Accra. Besides that, we also have Chana Gazuba, which the first phase was completed somewhere 2014, 15 thereabout. Now we are also engaging the Chana Gazuba phase 2. And then beside that, we also have a studies which is far advanced, also to expand Weja. Beside that, when we move from Accra here, we have other several areas that also studies are being done. Now, Sunyani one was also completed, feasibility studies were completed, but because of depth restriction, Sunyani could not come up. So as Takwa also could not come up. And then Atemu Amantin also could not come off.
Techiman. So there are several of them that now, under this new dispensation, we are re-engaging the other stakeholders and then see how best some of these things can be done.
Okay, that's impressive. What about Kumasi? Any contingency?
So the Kumasi too is also there. We have Kumasi, there's a short term and a long term. The short term is about the drilling of Barikesi, dredging of Barikesi. So that's one. And Owabi has been done. Last year we dredged Owabi. So it's also bringing this. And then also relocation of the pipeline between, from Owabi to Swallowland about the line got damaged and it was truncated. Now that one, our own internal generated one, we have also carry out the repairs of that pipeline replacement. So Kumasi currently is okay. But the long term is the studies have been done, and this time I want to bring the water from the Afram place, that from the eastern, to carry the water from there through Kwanongo and come to Kumasi, and go to serve all the areas along the corridor. This is what it's also, the studies have been completed and we are on it.
Honorable Minister, we will take the last batch of questions and then we can discharge you. So, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister, accommodation. We know housing remains a major challenge in Accra and major cities. And I'm not laying blame to your doorstep at all. However, since you are here, would you be kind enough to share some plans with us that are in place to provide affordable housing schemes to our citizens? Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, currently, TDC, which is one of my agencies, is even moving from its area to Volta region. We're starting some projects there. State Housing is also about to move to the Desua in Ashanti region to also have some affordable housing there. We started our district housing too with a pilot stage now with 8 districts, and others are also in the pipeline to be announced.
We'll come to that. So keep it. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Chair.
And after that, you will close.
Minister, I would want to find out from you the current state of our water bodies with regards to water quality in our homes. Is Galamsey still having any negative impact on the quality of water we consume in our homes? And I want you to reference this from the last 12 months. What's the situation on Galamsey and our water bodies?
Honorable Minister, what is the quality of water that your Ghana Water Company is battling with to give to our people?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Ghana Water Company is still challenged with the high turbidity of the raw water. There are pictures.
Speak aloud, we can't hear you.
Okay. I'm saying that water company is still challenged with the high levels of turbidity we are having in the country. Even though I know several efforts have been put in to curb the menace, but it still exists. And so probably, if I had asked it, we would have brought you maybe data to support that. But we want to tell you that it's still there.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Mr. Chair, I just want to remind the House that
Honorable members, listen to the Honorable Minister's answer.
Yes. When you look at the issue with the water quality, every water body and the situation, it's peculiar situation. For example, at Weja, we are treating water with alum. In other areas where the turbidity is a bit more cloudy, we are having to treat with polymers. So it depends on the area and the water and the intake. But I just want to appeal that, you see, we are having to dredge Barekese. Why are we dredging? Because of silt sedimentation. So the holding capacity of Barekese has been reduced because of the amount of silt that is taken over. How does that happen? Deforestation. If the water bodies, the buffers of the water bodies, when you cut the trees down and whatever vegetation that is there, that holds the soil together at the sides, when it rains and other activities taking place, it will just wash into the rivers and it will come down. And that combines with the illegal mining. So it's not everywhere that it is illegal mining that necessarily has caused that. Every water body and its peculiar situation. So I just want to appeal, using Parliament TV as a medium, that we have had discussions with Forestry Commission. We are also looking forward to, during the Tree for Life in June, when they do the tree planting, we've also had this discussion from the Water Directorate, because we would like to team up with them, and we've spoken to the MD of the Forestry Commission on that. But going forward, if Ghanaians keep on removing the soil, the cover, the ground cover of areas, the soil will wash into the rivers and it will bring silt. Also, sun winning. In some of our headworks, sun winning is also a problem for us. And that is not being done by the agencies. They will not do that. They have to protect the assets that they have, especially all the infrastructure that has been built. So my appeal is that, as members of Parliament, I'm appealing to this committee also, let's also raise these issues, that it's not only one factor, but it's a multiple factors that are causing the turbidity of the water. And like Ghana Water Company said, Water Resource Commission is always monitoring the water, because they are mandated to see the water quality levels. So it's a multi-pronged problem. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Yes, Sagome.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I am happy to note that the Sagome project is coming back on stream after several years of neglect. Can you give us I have two questions. Can you give us an update on exactly what is happening in Saglemi? Saglemi happens to be on my way. Anytime I'm going to the constituency, I see it and I feel so much pain. What is the current situation on Saglemi? My second question, it's about the water issue in Sugakope. My constituency hosts 2 water treatment stations, Keseve and then Agodomi. And my village happens to be in between these 2 communities, Kotame. We are left in the middle. And so Sugakope is not able to reach us. Keseve is not able to reach us. Meanwhile, we have Toje. There's a treatment, an overhead tank at Toje, which is just 3-4 kilometers away from my village. Here there's a current update on the Keseve Waterworks. What is the situation now, and the surest way of water getting to my village, Butame, which if I don't do, maybe my next coming is not assured, is that I hear the same pipe that is serving the people is the same one that is supposed to take the water to the overhead tank. And so when water is opened, it is sucked along the way, so it's not able to climb up. What is the situation currently? Or are you just abandoning the overhead tank, or there's something you're going to do about it to make sure that then water can flow by gravity through to my village, so that will be safe for the next round?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable, just a few months ago, Keseve had been rehabilitated. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we speak now, Keseve has been renovated some few months ago. So the village or the community you are talking about, I will look at it and get back to you, because I don't know the name and I don't want to sit here and tell their name or this. Oh, okay, no problem.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Ranking. Have you spoken to Sagame?
No, not yet. So I will speak on Saglame. Yeah, so like you rightly said, Saglame is coming back after getting the transaction advisor. And we went through some procurement processes, and we have a strategic investor to partner government to complete Saglame. So a joint venture agreement is being prepared so that we can enter into a joint venture agreement. All of those documents and shareholding agreement is with AG. We are almost there to sign, and then the strategic investor can go and complete Saglame. So that is where we are on Saglame. Thank you.
That's fine. Honorable Minister, before you leave, you will conclude on Saglame, but I will listen to him before you leave. So think about all the various options at Saglame, because people want to know how soon, people want to know what the terms, so please put that all into context and let us know, because the most dangerous thing for you is to promise and fail. By Honorable Deputy Rank.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Minister, sorry we are putting you through all these things, but that is to even also allow you explain what you are doing to the public. It's a very good opportunity for the ministry and all those listening ministers who are not here. This is an opportunity for you to prepare yourself, come and then let Ghanaians know what you are doing for them as people we voted for. Honorable Minister, regarding the flooding, I happen to serve on the Western Housing Committee since 2017. It was just last year I was moved to the Roads and Transportation Committee as the Vice Chair. I happen to be with a team that visited Frankfurt, Germany, regarding our flooding issue. So let me just hint you, if there are no reports in the Hydro office, in fact it was Dr. John Kisi who led the team, and we had very deep talks regarding the order. Suggestions were that we should source funding to build a reservoir upstream, because if you go to Germany, they control how their rainwater flows into the rivers, and so they are able to trap the rainwater and direct the water into the streams, and so in that case you will not have flooding. And even for them, wastewater is controlled. They are able to meter the water, clean water that comes in for household usage, and then the wastewater that goes out to be metered. So that the more you waste water, the more money you pay to government to treat the wastewater before it's released. But in Ghana, I don't think we have that. We just pay for what we consume, but what we release as waste, we don't pay for it. And so let's begin as a country to look at it, so that the more you waste water, the more money you pay for treatment. And so in your plans, consider the building of the reservoir upstream the Odo River, so that we are able to regulate how much water comes into town. Like I said, I know Dr. Kisi will be of use if you can get him to furnish you with some information, and probably also revisit the funding project that we undertook, because Frankfurt is willing to give grants, but that thing got truncated at a point, and then the government NDP lost power and went. So let's see how we revisit that. Then Parliament will expect that your ministry delivers on promises, but you only get your agencies to work. Your answers you gave, we just realized that there's no pressure on your agencies. So, Honorable Minister, you have to pay attention to that. They are the ones that would like to fail. As we sit here, if we have to point fingers at the one that led to the failure of your promise, it will be difficult to point at the agencies work to deliver results. So you have to put pressure on your agencies. I have not seen community water and sanitation here because maybe the question doesn't matter them, but we all here as members of parliament, especially we do from the rural areas, we need you to put things in place for community water and sanitation agency to work so that the rural MPs will benefit from getting water for their people. Then you also talked about the housing projects for the districts. I don't know the criteria you used in selecting those districts that are functioning now. Housing projects to their places. Let us know so that MPs can send in applications. We can help in working out to get lands because we have nurses, teachers who are in our constituencies. They are struggling to have accommodation. And so I think if you work with us, it will help us. So, Chairman, let me conclude by asking the minister. This morning on radio and TV they were discussing the President directive regarding the 6-month rent payment. How can we enforce this? It's putting a lot of stress on Ghanaians, people who are not able to build and they have to rent because the law says 6 months.
That's the last questions for you. Then I'll conclude.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, Honorable Chiwete was the Deputy Ranking for the Works and Housing Committee. Yes, we were on the same committee and we went through the rent bill together, even though it curtailed at a point. Honorable, am I right? Yes, so this question, no, so the rent bill is going to come back to Parliament because, as you know, it was actually curtailed, and housing rent is a demand and supply issue. But there comes a point where there has to be a meeting of minds and a middle ground for tenants and landlords, and we are getting close to that. So you're likely to be hearing from the ministry soon. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, I told you that you will come back to Sagalme. Ghana has invested the equivalent of close to 2.4 billion cedis in the Sagalme project. As we say today, no single person is staying within the Sagalme enclave for obvious reasons. The infrastructure is not ready, but we've invested this amount of money. The members asked you a very simple question. What are the plans for you to put in place? What are plans are you putting in place to ensure that this money does not go to waste? Because we don't have resources, and if 2.4 billion cedis, that's around $200 million, has been already invested and we can't show anything for it, there obviously will be a problem. We cannot allow it to go rotten. The chief director talks about having a strategic investor. We have heard that for a long time. And so that is not something that Ghanaians want to listen to. They want concrete steps to ensure that at least people can stay in Sagalme. And what will be the terms if you give it a strategic investor? Are we going to pump another $1 billion cedis into it? How are you going to ensure that the houses are put to use? Then the second and last one, which you conclude, is the President's promise on some coastal projects, the sea defense projects. We will call you back on it because the President made that promise in State of the Nation. But if you want to give us a heads up, we'll be happy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the Sagalme project is very important to the government and the ministry. The process started in the previous government. An agreement was started with LMI Holding during the previous government, the latter part of the previous government. And we are currently continuing with that. So with the LMI, what the contractor that the previous government started with, we continue with that same contractor, and currently we're looking at the JV and the shareholding arrangement to complete it. And after it's done, the ministry will come out and have a briefing on Saglame, so that the good people of Ghana will know what is happening in Saglame. But it's ongoing with the Ministry of the Attorney General's office.
You are saying that the processes initiated by the previous government, you are continuing with that same process. You haven't truncated it?
No.
Okay. On the same terms, is that right?
Honorable Chair, the terms is what we are looking at the AG's level, but we are continuing with the same process.
The LMI project?
Yes.
Okay.
I know the terms.
What about the coastal project? Well, so we will expect you to brief the nation on Saglame, and so the coastal projects. If you have anything to say, if you don't have, we will call you back on it.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, last year we started the Agaveji Solakope coastal project. The President came to Parliament and assured the good people that their wounds are over, because the whole area was being taken over by the sea. And the President's promise was fulfilled. We went there to cut sod, and the project is currently about 20-something% completed. So that's the project that we started. And there are other ongoing sea defense projects too that we still undertaken. We have some in Central region, Western region, and other places, and they are all ongoing. We've not stopped any coastal project.
The Keta one and all of the other contractors on site?
There is Blekusu.
Blekusu?
Yes, Blekusu phase 2.
Anyway, as I said, all promises made by the President on behalf, you will be called back to answer on behalf, because we're not calling the President, we can't call him here. But you, the ministers who gave him the input to come and say what he said in the State of the Nation, will be calling you back to give us the answers to the assurances made by His Excellency the President. Honorable Minister, we wish you well. We want to see you visit the field more. So you are a practical, you should be a practical minister because of where you are. So many Ghanaians will want to see you on television at the sites. We ourselves will visit some of the places you are currently mentioning to ascertain whether what you are doing is, what you are saying is true or is not true, including the road works, because we expect that this problem for which we called you, the relocation, should be done in the shortest possible time.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I don't sit in the office. Every week I'm out at least twice every week inspecting projects, ongoing projects, and others. So I'm not in the office, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, thank you. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for calling upon this committee. We wish you well. Anytime we need you, we will get back to you. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.